Good morning, and I hope you've been well, and this is part 53 of the Pokemon Rejuvenation V13.5 Let's Play, set mode, no items, so yeah. So before we get into today's episode, I want to apologize for the big mess up that I did on the last episode, and I really want to give an explanation on all of that real quick, so yeah. Before I do so, I want to say thank you to the viewer that was kind enough to catch what I did and point it out and show me what I did wrong. So yeah, he was pretty much asking if I decided to change my mode to set the shift mode instead of doing the challenge run, and I did not intend for that to happen, but he was correct that my mode was on shift and not set mode, and I pretty much want to give an explanation on why that was, so people are up to date on why that actually happened. So we'll get into that now. So to keep it plain and simple, because I don't really want to drag it on too long, whenever I go to record a video of Pokemon Rejuvenation, whether I do 1 or 2 videos, after the recording is done and whatnot, I normally save, close out of the game, close out of OBS, shut down the computer, and then go about my day as I normally would. And then whenever I come on back to the desk to record and whatnot, I pretty much do the usual, start it up, and get things going. Unfortunately, there are times, and I don't know if it's only me or if other people have experienced this before, but for me, I've unfortunately have had some moments here and there with Rejuvenation that when I load into the game, it pretty much gives me a small little pop-up there. I don't know what word I said there. And I do apologize. I'm still kind of, not feeling too well with that stomach flu and all of that. But anyways, that's not super important. So I would normally get a small pop-up that would pretty much say save file corrupted or something of the sort. It's something like that, and then it goes on into the game. One of two things normally happens. One is, if I'm lucky, it doesn't really affect the save file, or two, the more annoying one, when I go into my save games and whatnot, if I scroll down from 1 to 8, for an example, 8 is the save file for this Let's Play here, it would normally say save corrupted, which means I gotta go back to the Rejuve save files, do some stuff to go back to an old save, and redo some stuff again, and then continue the series. After the after the Garufin Sanctuary situation, and unfortunately getting Alita caught up in a Garufin coma and all of that, after that episode, when I went to replay the game again, it pretty much said save file corrupted. I went to go check it out. Unfortunately, I had to redo all of that again. When I have to do that and go back to an old save, everything reverts to the original settings. For an example, the screen goes back to the smallest one, the volume goes back to 100 and 100 here, and then this goes back to shift and doesn't stay on set mode. When I started recording when I was sick and whatnot, that was the one thing that I forgot to switch on over, and that is 1,000,000% my fault, and I did not intend for that to happen, and I apologize for the error there. I understand and know that it's not the end of the world, but I really want to be somebody that stays true and honest, and I really do want to bring that up to you guys and apologize for the error that I made on all of that. Now, to, of course, stay true to the goal and this entire series point and all of that, I went back to an old save, and I'm gonna redo pretty much everything here on set mode no items. Now, of course, no items, it's still a thing. For an example, I'll show that for an example to show that it's not gone or anything like that. That's still in place. But set mode set mode went back to shift mode. That's the only thing that pretty much changed. So, yeah. But yeah, what I'm gonna do is redo all of this. Now, of course, not on video. What I will do instead is for the important battles, the Crawley battle, the 2 Team Zen ships battles, where you battle 2 Team Zen grunts instead of 1. I will do both of those, and I will do the Neve battle at the beginning of the episode. Pretty much, I will skip on through all of that at the beginning of the video. I will go through all 4 of those battles back to back to back to back, and then we are going to go on through Valor Mountain and continue the story. If you have no care whatsoever seeing me battle all of them on set mode, no items, that's totally fine. I understand that. I will have a timestamp in the comment section below. Skip on ahead to when I get on to Valor Mountain, and you should be good to go if you want to continue on that way. But if you are a new or repeat player of the game that may be using this as a guide and may, for whatever reason, need help with some of those battles, I will redo them on set mode, no items. I will go through the teams that I use because I also forgot to do that on that episode as well, and hopefully that all should be good, hopefully. So yeah, it's definitely gonna be a little bit time consuming for me, but of course, like I said before, I want to stay true and honest to this series and go about it on set mode, no items. Thank you again to the viewer for showing me that and catching that, because I would have totally forgot about that. And just to answer his question and some others that may be curious, no, the challenge run is not going anywhere. We're not doing an easier run. I want to do it on set mode, no items. It was an honest mistake. I apologize again for that, and I've dragged this way too long than I needed to. I love you all. Take care. Let's get into the video. So since we're pretty much right here for the Crawley battle, we'll just go on ahead and skip the dialogue here and get on with this one here. Okay, Galvantula or Beetle. Now, we did decide to change up the team for a much more better team against Crawley instead of whatever catastrophe that somehow worked on the last episode. I'll go on ahead and show you guys what I got going on here. Now, if you don't have a Blaziken, that's again totally fine. A decent fire type will definitely do the role pretty okay, so yeah. And you know, I thought about doing this series without using a starter, but that's okay. Alrighty. So what I want to do is double team the Galvantula, because if I remember from the last episode, it does have sticky webs, and it definitely can be a little bit annoying if it gets up its sticky webs. Now, of course, there, for some reason, it did not go for it. It went for Thunder, so I guess I'm not... Oh. Here I am being dumb. The Orbeetle had the webs. Ignore what I said. I'm sorry. But that's okay. Even if you have sticky webs up, you should be a-okay. Oh, and real quick, like I said before, just to show real quick, I just want to show that is still on and not like deactivated or whatever. I mean, to be fair, I think anybody would be able to see if I am using like healing items in the middle of the battle, but I just wanted to show that real quick, just in case if people were curious. Alright, Falling's there. We're gonna go on ahead and take that out. Go after the Probopass here. Cool, cool. Sanders is out. That's a free switch into Volkner because of Ariados. I was wrong. Araquanid. I didn't mean to say like Ariados, but yeah, Araquanid. Anyways, Thunderfang, the Araquanid. Cool, cool. We should take one hit. Nice. And honestly, you can really go into anything that you want. Talonflame is the perfect choice for this scenario. Get rid of Ariados. Oh. Surprised you took a hit. Maybe a little more bulky than I imagined. We shouldn't even lose either way though. We'll be okay. Whoops. Just Rock Slide, Night Slash, and you should be good. Cool, cool. We'll go on ahead and skip through all of that. Thanks again, Crawley. Oh, and by the way, if you are low on Pokeballs and whatnot, do not forget to get some more of those. So yeah, I know I did the same thing because I'm going to have to get those Shadow Pokemon and whatnot. So just a little friendly reminder if you may be low on them. Okay, what I'm going to do is pause here, and I'm going to go through all of this real quick. And what am I doing? I forgot the heal. Anyways, I'll pause here. Alright, sorry for unpausing here. We're not really getting into like a battle or anything like that, but I just want to give a little bit of a reminder. The players, don't forget to do this scene. You do get points with Rylan here. I know I brought it up and have a timestamp on the last episode on all that, but just a small little reminder on doing so. I would recommend it for new or repeat players so you don't miss out on this. Alright, I'm done. Alrighty, we are at the first battleship here. If I'm not mistaken, this is the one that leads you towards, I think Neve's diary and all of that, and I think it also leads to the Rylan interaction. So we'll go on ahead and go through this battle here, just to show possibly some people that may use this series as a guide to help them if they may struggle with the more difficult double battles for whatever reason. Let me go on ahead and show the team. It didn't change from the one that we battled against Crawley. It's the same team. I know I kind of worded that weird, but I think you get the point. Cool, cool. Okay, so we went on ahead and did that. I'm gonna do the same thing to Hypno, and I want to take out the Wheezing. Alright, Sanders is out. That's a free switch into Zeke here. Beedrill will go for Air Slash and Night Slash here. Right. Hopefully we don't miss. Okay. If we don't miss, we can definitely take... Victory Bell might take the hit. Yeah, it does. Okay. Okay. Air Slash here, Night Slash there. Alright, we do miss. Sheriff is looking pretty cool right now. Take a Victory Bell here. And then Vespiquen is next. And that's pretty much it. Overall, I know I don't really have to show the double battles here, but just to redo it, just to show that I did on set mode, it just makes me feel a little bit better from the mistake that I made earlier. So yeah, overall, with a lot of the grunt battles and whatnot that I've, went into talks about before, as long as you have a well-balanced team and you have the right levels, and especially if you EV train, the majority of grunt battles you should have barely any difficulty with them at all. But if for whatever reason you are, hopefully the videos may be able to help you out. Now, of course, for, you know, the boss, whatchamacallit, gym leaders. Oof, sorry for the random pause there, but yeah, gym leaders, boss battles, rival battles, a lot of those ones compared to the grunt battles are going to be a lot more on the difficult side, but again, EV training, have a full team of 6, levels to the max that they can be, and a well-balanced team that works well against them is the key to having a much more easy success rate with winning against them than not having EV train, not being fully leveled, not having a good matchup with them. So just to give like advice for players and whatnot, that is, you know, the ultimate key to all of that. So just a little bit of advice on all of that. Alright, I'm done with my rant. I'll see you guys at the next battleship when we get there. Alrighty, this is the second battleship. Now, I did forget to bring it up if I'm not mistaken. If I did, then I'm just being repetitive at this point and forgetful. There are 3 total. The third one is the one with the ranger, if I'm not mistaken. And I believe... what was that? I forgot to give the berries, by the way, I forgot, sorry. That one is recommended to do later because it's more difficult or something of the sort, so we are not going to worry about that one right now. We'll do that later since it does sound like they are a lot more of a higher level. Okay. I think... what do I want to do? I guess Sanders is okay. Take that out, just Earthquake. Alright, what's next? Right. We'll go after you, Earthquake here. Okay. You are scary. But I think we're okay. Let's lower the attack here. And by the way, same team as before, I mean... but just to show it real quick. Alright. Let's just do that. I don't want you going for Giga Drain. I mean, you're still gonna go for it, but I don't want it going back to like full HP. And that's pretty much it. I will... what is this one again? Right, that whole puzzle thing. I will pause here, and I will see you guys once we get the Neve, once I finish this all up, so yeah. So, I know I'm not at the Neve battle right now, but I kind of noticed this, and I don't believe I stumbled upon this on the last episode. I don't know if this is a quest for the future or something like that, but this is new. But yeah, that's pretty much it on all of that. I just wanted to point that out. I'll pause here and I'll see you guys once we battle Neve and all of that. Yeah. Alright, we are on Valor Shore, and we are going to get into the Neve battle here on set mode, no items. And now the change... I cannot speak today. I cannot speak today. I'm so sorry. I know I've been an entire mess this episode so far. The team has not changed, just to let you guys know. Alright, we make it to the top. We win and save Nim. Pull up Neve. Now it is kind of cool. Somebody was telling me in the comment section below that apparently if you make certain choices on what you say to him, there's actually a way that you don't have to battle him. That I don't know what it is, but I want to go with the choices that I would normally want to say. Nope, not staying in. Well, real quick, hold up. Now, should I have changed the team? Yeah, probably, but I'm not going to. Let's go into Volkner. Yawn, that's different. I don't want to be put to sleep, honestly. What kind of play is that, Neve? Oh, okay, I'm running with it. Don't miss, gosh darn it. Miss. I'm dead. No, I'm not dead. Okay. Even if I wanted to stay in, I cannot. No way I can. Let's go for that. Okay. I think Sanders makes the most sense. I can't stay in on that. What sucks is it's definitely gonna go for a hydro pump. I mean, let me think. What else does he have? Delmise is gone. Vigavolt is gone. He has Empoleon. Barbaracle. That thing's gonna be scary. I forgot the move, but I think it's got a certain move that is pretty terrifying. Shell Smash, if it gets it up. That one avian form Frostlass that I'm not too familiar with, and some other Pokemon that I'm not remembering. The reason I want to keep you because, you know, outspeed, maybe Super Fang, but I want to keep you because let's say I get into a spot that it goes for that, Intimidate may not be a bad idea. I think Volkner's to play. Okay. I do not speed. I have to go into you and just get rid of it. Barbaracle? I'm a little bit surprised. I thought I would have gone into it to try to get the Shell Smash up. Okay. Sonar, because it's definitely going for a water move. Right. Crap. Just get Tailwind up. I'm shocked. Why did you do that? I'm running with that error. Yeah, it's just gonna go for Giga Drain. Yeah. I gotta keep in mind that even on like normal mode, right? Like, it's definitely like just not as like difficult as it used to be, honestly. It just isn't. Not even like saying it for like intense mode no items, but like the old, you know, like V11, 12, and even like 13. I mean, I don't remember if 13 was nerfed a little bit or not. I don't remember. But it's definitely been watered down on the difficulty heavily from what I've noticed so far. Even doing it on, you know, set mode no items. To be fair, back in the day on like the old playthroughs, I didn't really care about EV training and whatnot, and that was a big mistake that I changed over time and whatnot. But I feel like I can guarantee that even if I did all of that and still played through like, you know, the older versions, there would still be some level of difficulty compared to this, you know, version and whatnot. I understand why they made it more easy, but I still wish they would have kept that difficulty with the normal mode. Maybe that's just me, maybe. But I gotta say though, besides that, the background is pretty. I love the art, that zoomy, that, I can't speak today, that Zumi has pretty much like done with like the background battle sprites and whatnot. It's really pretty, honestly. Alright, we'll do that, and what am I doing? I'm healing, and yeah, this is where we left off on the last episode. Okay, I'm gonna pause here, and yeah. Alrighty, if you decided to skip on ahead, this is where we are going to be continuing on with Valor Mountain and all of that. If you're watching the first 20-something minutes, then yeah, that's pretty much it. You guys ready for this? More ready than I'll ever be. Let's make a difference. Whoa, careful. Kieran, it's been a minute. It looks like the famous Alan finally made it to Valor Mountain. Pleased to meet your acquaintance. Do I know you? Who are you? No autographs, sorry. All of them kind of say like interesting things. I kind of want to go through all of them. Do I know you? Perhaps once a long time ago, but these are under different circumstances, kitty cat. Here, you're gonna need this. And that's pretty much it for that. I kind of want to read the other ones. There is no friendship points from what I know with Clear and Kieran, by the way, so yeah. Alright, I want to go through the other one. Who are you? Who I am doesn't matter, kitty cat. It's all about who you are and what you're doing here. Oh, okay. And no autographs, sorry. You have a sense of humor too. That's rare nowadays, kitty cat. Here, you're gonna need this. You know what, it doesn't really matter which one you go for because it doesn't change the points, but we'll stick with the third one. Why not? This emotion powder, it's made up of ground up crystals found throughout this area. Valor Mountain has an interesting quirk. Like the seasons and life itself, it's ever changing. Sprinkle a bit of this on some of the crystals in the mountain and you're in for a surprise. But in order for that to work, you'll need to find the source crystal. Sounds weird, but you'll understand in due time. Without this little gift, you won't be able to reunite with your little friends. I don't know why I said little friends, sorry. I was reading the top line. A little too cryptic? Where did they go? Malia? Sure, if that's what you want to call her. See, that line there, and I want to go through the other lines too. That's the interesting thing about that whole thing, if that's what you want to call her. Interesting. Alright, where did they go? Come on now, kitty cat. There's only one place you all really need to be right now. I'm sure you already know the answer to that question. Gotcha. Okay. I felt like that one was kind of like obvious, but I just wanted to read the text on that. Alright, we'll go for the final one. A little too cryptic. A little too much information always leads to grave consequences, kitty cat. That is very true. So what will you do now, Alon? You have many paths laid out before you, saving Amber, reaching the pinnacle, saving Nim. Will you successfully complete all of these tasks? I can't speak today. I'm curious to see. Here, let me give you some friendly guidance. Amber's 2th floor beneath us. You can get there by taking the ladder located across the bridge. You'll need to find a way to calm down the mountain. I've charged one calming crystal for you to do this somewhere on this floor. You will need to go a bit out of your way for it though, but you know, you don't have to save Amber. If you wanted, you could forsake her. I wonder what consequences that would lead to. Aren't you curious to know? Well, it's up to you. I've already directed the cat with purple hair down that way already. I'll be heading out for now, but I'm interested to see how this all turns out. See ya, Alon. See you later, Kieran. Okay, so of course we are gonna be saving Amber. This is a Paragon route playthrough. Now I do have a Let's Play going through the Renegade route if anybody is curious on all of that, so yeah. But of course this series, like I said a few moments ago, we are not going for the Renegade route. And I want to bring that back to 100, just because. And I see a Claydol over there. I guess he's just gonna chill on over there. Okay. Let us... Well, can I read that? I don't think... No, I can. Maybe. Yeah, I can. Only when our mood is subdued, we will allow one to intrude. Gotcha. Okay. So Amber's in the different mount area, so we gotta change the mood. Claydol, not a bad Pokemon. I've just never really used it, so not one I would really capture. Now, of course, something that I brought up before to new players that may be new to the game and whatnot, it's always good to also keep in mind that, you know, the fun of it is, you know, experimenting, trying out different stuff and whatnot. I'm sure Claydol in different battles does tremendously well. I've never really used one though. I do love Claydol, it is a pretty cool Pokemon, but again, experiment, try it out, and just see how it goes. It's all trial and error. Okay, maybe I regret turning on the thing. I might turn it off in a second. I'm turning it off. We're already like half an hour into the vid. I kind of want to like speedrun this a little bit. Not go too fast, but I do want to at least get to the top of the mountain by the end of all of this. Okay, so we're going to go on ahead and do that. And we are going to make our way, not there, but upwards. Now you will need to activate that, by the way, in order to get the Kyogre event. If Gira was correct on his analysis, this should be a source crystal. All you would have to do is sprinkle some of this powder on top of the crystal, and then the mountain should change in some way. We wouldn't have to forcibly change the mountain anymore. What? Aren't you Alon? We were warned about you. If you used these crystals to reach the top of the tower, the mountain, I wouldn't hear the end of it from Gira. Then where would I be? I won't stand for this. For a moment, I have to get on out of here. Sonar does not like ice types. Of course. I really shouldn't be surprised at this point. Alright, the next best thing, Volkner. Crunch here. Bomb of Snow. Why? Well, what am I doing? We have Sheriff. That still did quite a bit. Probably because of the field. Now we can go into Sonar. Okay. Do that. Go into Obsta Beam. And we should be good. I didn't expect to win against you, a lowly grunt against Salon. The power, however you say that, doesn't allow for such a circumstance to exist. Hariaki. Is that how you say that? I don't know. Nevertheless, if I could speak, I'm going to report this immediately. For a moment. Oh. This interaction is new. It seems you found one of the source crystals I spoke about earlier. Do you see how things have changed so drastically too? That's the true nature of this mountain. Understanding its many faces is what will bring you to the top. Now that you understand, I'm curious to see what you will accomplish. I wouldn't be worried about the scientists from earlier also. It's so unfortunate, but it seems like they had an accident involving magma. So careless. But what can you do? Some people just need to be silenced. Nice. Bruh. Well, that's new though. Did you? That's awful nice. See, that's... I don't know if I want to get into a rant, because we're like 38 minutes in. Let me do this. Let me see. Did you? Perhaps I did, like a parent protecting their young, but I guess technically it wasn't necessary protection and more of assurance. Either way, I'll be leaving for real this time. No more help from me. What will the kitty do in its pen? Let us see. Oh, and one last thing before I head on out of here. I mustered up enough energy to keep the calm crystal on the floor below us active a little bit longer. Could be helpful if you choose to save Amber. Just a gift from me. Yeah, I want to go on my rant. Why not? If you don't want to listen for spoiler reasons, skip on ahead, so... yeah. So, with the whole thing with Claire and Kieran, those are some of the most interesting characters within the game itself. Whether you do or don't like them, I don't think many people can really deny that they are some of the most important and, again, interesting characters within the game. They're so odd to me because, like, there are so many things that I can theorize, try to put together and whatnot, but there are so many loose ends with them, and there's not a lot known about them. You do know that to some level that they are business partners with Madam X, right? Because they do deals back and forth. They benefit one another, but if I'm not mistaken, one of them, again, I brought it up on the last episode if I'm not mistaken, but to bring it back up again, one of them brought it up before. We're not working with Team Zen. We are not Team Zen members. We're not associated with them. And then I believe somebody else, more so clear, is the one that says it's all business. It's not personal. Don't take any of this personally. I was just, doing this because it's business. So, going off of that and all, it is interesting that even though they do that and whatnot, they still somewhat, like for an example of Clear, well, of course he didn't admit or did not admit to it, which is, smart, because it's like, well, maybe I did, or maybe I didn't. I'm not saying anything, and you can't make me say nothing. I don't have to. Let's just buy the idea that he did do it. It's interesting that they are business partners, but they kind of still do stuff like that here and there regardless. That does kind of have an effect on Team Zen, and that goes into the whole theory that I had about this game beforehand. I really do believe that Madam X, Clear, and Kieran, they pretty much know the entire story of Pokemon Rejuvenation. The whole thing that Variety has created this insane game is how I'm going to word it. By the whole thing with the Battle of Arceus and her creating her own whatchamacallit, like Arceus statue thing with the archetype to support, all of life and whatnot, since she, killed Arceus, the one that provided life to everything. She went about it and was like, oh, let me do this, do that. Hey, we need 17 recruits. And I brought up a theory on, the 17 recruits. I believe they represent the 17 different legendary Pokemon. More so like the box game legends, going from Gen 1 to I think Gen 8 ? Gen 8 is questionable. Pretty much to go through it again. What was it? Second gen, Lugia, Ho-Oh. Third gen, Groudon, Kyogre, Rayquaza. Fourth gen, Dialga, Palkia, Giratina. Fifth game, Reshiram, Zekrom. That's 10 total so far. Gen 6, Zygarde, Yveltal, Xerneas. That's 13. And by the way, of course, those three, Yveltal, Indrid, Zygarde, would be addressed. That I'm almost certain of, because when you go through the ending of the V13.5, well, right, it says Yveltal, Indrid, Xerneas, Nimra, and then it says Zygarde redacted, or like deleted, something of the sort, which tells me Zygarde is address, since Variety pretty much up and deleted him, since he found out some things that he wasn't meant to find out. Of course, that being Variety pretty much, doing all of this just to create this game and whatnot, and not truly, save the world in a sense. Maybe she is trying to save the world, but in a really weird, wacky way that she still has some level of control. That whole thing is weird and all that. I'm not here to get into that whole thing. Not right now. Another episode we will. But anyways, yeah, 13. 14 and 15 would be Lunala, Solgaleo. Now, the reason I want to match that up is, if you remember correctly, there's a girl within the third layer that is named Lunala, and that tells me that she probably was one of the subjects that volunteered herself to, be a part of the archetype to see if she can withstand it. Probably got the role of Lunala, being the moon. And then, of course, 15 and 16, it's either two different legends. being Zamazenta Zacian, or whatchamacallit, Kirim and Necrozma. It's either one of those two. I would say most likely Necrozma and Kirim. Sorry, I don't know why I blanked on that name. More than Zacian and Zygarde, but I can see it going either way. But pretty much they're the main legends. And it makes sense if, you know, she did that, because again, she used the archetype. It's God himself, you know, the archetype. That's pretty much Arceus, you know, his power, his everything and whatnot. Or a part of him, sorry, I should say. It has more than enough to create the different legends, because again, you know, you have Giratina, ruler of hell, and you know, the different dimensions and whatnot. You have Dialga, Palkia, Space and Time, Spacia, Tempa, Groudon, Kyogre, Rayquaza. Those ones we don't know about, of course. Again, Indra, Yveltal, Nimra, Xerneas, Zygarde, Address. It makes sense to me. Ho-Oh, Lugia, those two we don't really know, of course. And again, when you go to the third layer, the whole thing with Lunalis, somebody got the role of that, so it really does fit that those 17 most likely are that. And again, all the legendaries that, you know, are a part of that, and let's say that all is true, they all in some way, in shape and form, create the world. Groudon, you know, form the continents and all of that kind of stuff. Kyogre, the sea. Rayquaza, the air. He protects the ozone layer and all that kind of stuff. And of course has a bro moment when Deoxys appears and whatnot, but that has nothing to do with this game, but just a little joke and all of that. But yeah, like all of them, they play their role to sustain life, because again, Arceus is not here, so there needs to be a substitute for that. It's very interesting, but how did I dive into all of that? From Clear and Kieran being business partners? I forgot. I'm so sorry. I was trying to make a point on all of that, but back to Clear and Kieran, man. I don't know how I dived into that. Alright, sorry for the pause there. I really try to remember what I was trying to like connect with all of that, but we'll leave it as is. Oh, right. I remember. How they like know about this like game that Varaya created. Right. Okay. And somehow I dived into all of that. I apologize for that. But most likely they, in my opinion, know about that. And there are some things that connect the dots and all of that, because if you remember correctly, there was a whole thing at the beginning of the game, and a longtime viewer brought this up too, and I want to thank them for this, where you meet Malia at the picnic. You see the green eye thing. It's, in my opinion, the time diamond being used probably by Madam X. Maybe Spacia and Tempa, maybe. One or the other. But, let's say it is Madam X for an example. It probably is Spacia and Tempa, but let's say Madam X for an example. With like the whole eye thing and whatnot, or maybe Varaya, I don't know. But something happened, something changed within that time, right? Let's say a timeline, I think he brought up like Jane answered some question about that, kind of like vaguely, that maybe they did escape, but things went wrong after that, which tells me that, for an example, where I'm going with this is Madam X has to allow the story to play out exactly how Varaya wants it to, right? Because let's say, not even like, let's say, Madam X right now can pull up in this mountain, you know, slash me into oblivion, kidnap Malia, and she's gone with the wind. Nothing can touch her. Nothing. There is no force at this given point in the game that can rival Madam X. In some way, shape, and form, that is not the right way to go about it, and I believe Madam X and potentially Clear and Kieran, they all know that if they do that, something's going to happen and it's going to revert itself and they're back to square one. So they have to play it as it's meant to be played, because again, she could do it if she really wanted to. but why hasn't she? And again, I believe that is because they know the game. They know what's going on with Ryan, all of that kind of stuff. And it goes into the whole thing of business partners. Maybe they're trying to do this to work together to stop all of that. There's also a theory that I have that I do think Claire and Kieran potentially might stab Madam X in the back because, again, like Claire has always said, it's all business. Don't take it personally. We don't even know if they may be working with some other people and being like double agents, for an example. Like, yeah, sure, we'll do things with Madam X, but maybe they're working for something much more, you know, different or sinister. Indra, Varaya, perhaps, or maybe somebody from a different, dimension. Because like you see situations where Claire and Kieran, they hop in and out of like these, wormholes, well, like portals, wormhole, portal, tomato. I'm not smart with all that kind of stuff, but they clearly can like time travel and do all that kind of stuff without any sort of restraint. Maybe they're, Garufans and whatnot. That would make sense because, they have very highly advanced technologies and whatnot, but I don't know. I ran it too long. I'm sorry. I'll leave it at that. There's more that I can dive into, but I'm not going to. I'll leave it at that, and maybe for another episode we'll get more into it. Yeah. Alright, we got to make our way up a mountain. And you know what I'm thinking? We're not gonna do the mountain this episode. We'll just do the Kyogre thing and all of that, because I'm gonna be here for a little while longer. Let's keep it simple. Okay. And we are changing the team for the Kyogre battle. We are not using this team. Hey Venom, what's going on? Let's go save a friend. Save here. Alon, there you are. I wandered in the mountain and you guys just disappeared. I wandered down here because I heard that Amber was being kept in the depths of Valor Mountain. I have a feeling she's close too. Come on. What is this place? Are we still in Valor Mountain? Hey, take a look at that. Look, there's writing on the wall, sorry. Over there. Why can you read Garufan, Venom? Or maybe because I'm standing right next to her? Weird. Those foolish enough to call the god of the sea shall step in the eye of the storm. Okay, what's that supposed to mean? Whatevs, I'm sure the answer to this is somewhere around here. Weird, because I thought only I with the book can read the language. I'm not going to question it. Okay, I'm going to use the remote PC. And you gotta go, you gotta go, you gotta go. You're definitely going. Not you. You stay. Okay. Billy, I love you, man. Unaware may not be bad, but I feel like Water Absorb is the one that I want. Because one is... right. One has Toxic, I think the other has Yawn. We'll keep Volkner there. I just don't think I outspeed it, that's the thing. I think Meowstic is a good Pokemon to have. I think so. Leavanny may not be bad. Why not? Let's get a little crazy. I don't expect to win this like first try, by the way, but we'll give it a try. Sorry. Okay. Well, I kind of want something that can like lower. That's the thing. I'm thinking about you. What do you have? I mean, do that. I mean, I could do something really wacky. Momentum. Yeah, go for Memento. And then, I don't know, go for screens. Why not? You know what? Trial and error. Why not? Don't think too long. Just do. Okay. Stepping in the center of the circle will call the beast. Nope. Nothing around here but this huge waterfall. Maybe I was wrong, Amber isn't down here, but Madeline says she'd be on the lower floors, and this looks like this is the lowest it gets. Right, there is still that dive spot there. And I noticed those pillars there. Might connect the dots on what I brought up earlier during the spoiler thing. Alright, I'll leave it at that. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole again. What was that? Alright, what the hell? It's storming inside of a cave. I was good in science class. Dude, this is not right. There's that cry again. It's coming from over there. I gotta say, I have always loved like the sprite animation here of Kyogre. Holy crap, you just saw what I did, right? I'm not crazy. That thing was a beast. Man, Kyogre is so cool, man. Alon, this thing wants to fight. We can do this together. Man, I love the Hoenn legends. This is new. Venom battles with you? Man, they really nerfed this battle heavily if she's with you. Me saying that, I'm probably still gonna lose yep, I'm still gonna lose anyways, but that's kind of crazy to me. Alright, light screen. Go for yawn here. I wonder. Let's go for amnesia here. Alright, now you're asleep. Go for muddy water. I kinda suck that we missed, but that's okay. Alright, we're underwater. Possibly one of the most broken fields within this game. That kind of sucked to miss that. Alright, screen went away. We gotta be careful. Let's go for Yawn here. Okay, woke up here. You know, I gotta say, this was... I know I've been a little bit silent here, I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know, because, like, you know, once we get towards, like, the end of the game, like, wrapping up this series, I honestly think that's gonna be one of my biggest complaints. It has been watered down way too much, in my opinion. Like, again, I brought it before, I'm not trying to sound like one of those, like, intense mode, like, people like, oh, why'd you get rid of the hardest game mode, and, like, stuff like that. You know, I made a video on when we were going through intense mode, no items. I agreed 100% with Jane and all the team developers on that whole thing, that, you know, there's no reason to be toxic and negative towards people that, you know, have difficulties with normal mode or even, you know, casual mode and whatnot. You know, everybody has different skill levels and whatnot at Pokemon, right? I understand completely why he decided to get rid of that. 100% behind him. I agree with that. But with V13.5 compared to the other versions, I mean, I would prefer easy if it was on, what is it again? Story mode and classic mode. Those are the two new modes. Classic is like your normal mode. Story mode is like your easy mode. I wish that classic mode would stay classic. I wish the difficulty would stay. Like, back then, you didn't have Venom with you. It was you versus Kyogre. With Venom here, it makes it infinitely easier with little to no difficulty. If Venom wasn't here spamming Giga Drain with that Venusaur and going for that one electric type move with that Toxtricity, I believe I would probably be redoing this battle a little bit before I got the win. And that's the thing. I enjoy, you know, some level of difficulty. I don't want an experience like Intense Mode no items for this series, but I was hoping for something somewhat, you know, difficult. Sure, we're kind of like mid-game and whatnot, and I know some of the more difficult battles will come up once we get to them far down the road, but I still remember back then, you know, and maybe, I don't even want to say that, because, like, it's not even true. Like, with me saying, like, maybe I've just gotten better, I don't think that's what it, I mean, I would say I have improved at the game compared to older Let's Plays and whatnot, definitely, but it definitely just feels like it's gotten so easy. Now, of course, the people that prefer it that way, rock out with it, have fun with it, but I just wish that the easy stuff would stay with story mode, and I wish classic mode, you know, barely altered, you know, the normal difficulty. You can, like, switch it up a little bit to make it slightly easier, but, like, it just seems a lot more easy. It's hard to word because it's like, it's weird. I've been on this rant before. At the end of the day, do I mind it? Not really. But if I didn't mind it, why am I ranting? Maybe I do kind of mind it. Maybe. At the end of the day, what I'm getting at is, like, I'm not saying, oh, I'm deleting the game and stuff like that, and I know I've said that phrase multiple times before, but I don't know. I think that's going to be one of my big complaints with V13.5. So far and overall, I love Rejuvenation. It will always and forever be my second favorite fan-made game of all time. But it's something that I brought up before. Even if something is like your favorite thing, I think you are able to critique it and have some level of criticism for it. And I think that's going to be one of my main ones for this series. It just seems so easy now. And one of the many things that I love about this game was the difficulty of the game. Because, like, what is it? I don't know, and maybe as I get older, a lot of that feeling, fades away. But I remember, being like young, well, middle-aged teen, getting into this game, slowly playing it, and struggling with like the reborn battles, the rejuvenation battles and whatnot. But it felt like you were actually in that story. Your back is against the wall, you keep losing and losing, the battle is difficult, but if you don't win, the region is doomed. But with this one, it's like no pushback at all, and I kind of miss that. I'll leave it at that. Hey Alon, can I ask you a question? Has anyone ever told you that your power is actually so scary? I know we fought together on that one, but I was just one sideline following your lead. To think you went from that kid from Giran to a blank who took down a Kyogre. You're totally awesome, Alon. Still though, I don't really know what the point of that was. We still don't. Oh hell no, don't tell me that Kyogre is back. Wait, what? Oh, what happened to us? We were just standing here and then all of a sudden, nothing. Hey Matalus, what's going on? Well, this is awkward. I'm just glad you losers got here in time before we all packed it up. So like, did you guys trip a trap in here or something? Evidently so. Isn't this just so funny? I don't find this funny at all. Kidnapping wasn't enough. You had to go on ahead and keep me hostage down here. Why didn't you bring me up to the summit like Jenner? Well, I have my reasons, and it's because I wanted an autograph from your mother. What? Well, it turns out that I'm quite a big fan of your work. You're beautiful and never break out. Tell me your secret. You brought me down here so that you could talk to my mom? That, and specifically to isolate everyone else away. This is my moment, not theirs. Dude, it looks like I'm not getting that autograph, so I'll just give you this as a parting gift. Here, take this. VGCR key. A key? Yes, a key to a mysterious place Alon has been to in the past. What door that key is used for? Well, you see... And she's gone. Dang, she can run fast. Well, at least we're safe, that's all that matters. Alon, Venom, we are in your debt. Thank you so much for saving us. Oh, it was nothing. Can we get cake for later, though? Venom. I would love to bake... Sorry, I can't speak today. No, I had that right. I would love to bake a cake for both of you once this is all over, but first, I need to get Amber home. Mom, wait. Huh? What's wrong? It's just that I wanted to apologize for what I did before. Oh, Amber, honey, there's nothing to apologize. No, Mom, just listen. I've been a terrible daughter to you for such a long time now. Ever since Dad left, I've been ungrateful and distant. I never wanted to talk to you. I've always thought Dad left because of me. When that happened, it hurt so much. I thought if I distanced myself, pretended that you weren't my mother, if you were to ever leave, it wouldn't hurt like it did before. Amber, I don't want you to just tolerate me. I don't want to be a burden on you. Everyone here risked their lives so that I could be safe, but all I did was kick and scream. I'm sorry. My dear sweet Amber, I love you so much. Through thick and thin, we'll be together forever. I'm not going anywhere. I'll love you no matter what. Just remember that, okay? Yeah, I promise. Let's take you home. See, I love that because there was that episode where I kind of went on that boomer rant with Amber when she was crying in her room after the whole thing. And that's something that I have to give a major positive on within Rejuvenation. I love how they added more story and more with Amber and Tesla's, upbringing, their situation. I love that there's a lot more with it. Again, you see Amber, she's a spoiled brat, but she's a hard worker. You cannot deny her of that. She has issues, same with her mom. They go back and forth, but here's the moment, instead of her, complaining and whatnot, she realizes, I made a mistake, I'm sorry. Mom, I need to talk to you. I love the character development. It's insanely crazy with her and Amber. Or Tesla and Amber, I should say, sorry. But that is one major positive I gotta say about this game. I love that there's more with that. Now I miss my mom. We never had the best relationship either, but I should try and change that next time I see her. Don't wait till it's too late. I agree with that, but I want to check out the friendship points real quick. Alright, first one is +2, this one is +1, and then I believe this one is negative points. Don't wait till it's too late. And that's a friendly reminder. Give your mom a hug. Don't forget that. Even your dad or a friend, a family, a partner, whatever it is. There's an old saying, you never knew what you truly had until it's gone. Don't forget that. Yeah, you're right. Anything can happen at any time. I want to let my mom know how much I care about her. Alright, when we save Nim, I'm gonna introduce everyone we meet to her, because we will save her. I swear it. Cool, cool. And with that... Oh. It would have sucked if we got soft-locked in there. Let me save again just in case. But with that being said and done, I think that'll be it for today's episode. Next episode, we will continue on getting to the summit, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Good morning.